Hey there guys, this is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Tasuke. I'm actually on time this time, roughly, because I watched the third Berserk movie with my buddy, Reveran Rio or whatever, and so I can actually talk about this one now. And of course I've read past this point in the manga, and of course I've seen the anime, so I can kind of compare. They show us a lot pretty early on when he shows up after Guts joins the Bands of the Hawk again. Like, I say join, but like it's more like he's just with them. But they cut out the part like where they show Guts sort of traveling. He takes part in that competition and whatnot, and he meets a lot, and he also meets the Skull Knight there as well. We actually get to see him in this movie as well. And this is where sort of like the big plot of what I would consider the main plot of Berserk actually comes up. And they already decided to go look for Griffith and, whatnot. And Guts gives some hints that he knew him, like he's just a performer. Which I find it weird because it's like he says that as if he met him. But they don't actually show, and I don't remember him being all like, "It's you," when talking to Guts or anything like that. But they get Griffith, and here they show a little bit more of Griffith's face with the helmet on. I mean, they implied that his face is just like utterly just destroyed. Like it shows a judo and a Guts just kind of, they open up and it's like, ugh, because it's just so like disturbing. But they don't actually show it, even though with the mask on they show a little bit more of it. Of course they rescue him, and they don't show like any of the other enemies that they fight. Which, one of them is actually a bit of foreshadowing for what's going to happen to Griffith. And they take it out. And I guess it makes sense because, one, he looked like a friggin' donkey/gorilla. And two, he gets his penis cut off, which I feel like would have worked out well for a friggin' 18 and over rated movie, which is the version that I believe. It's on the. I got the Blu-ray so I could see the outtakes. I don't know if the DVD's any different, but so they don't show like any of the people who they fight while trying to escape with Griffith out of the kingdom. But they do show everything else. It's pretty true to the manga, and I feel like the script and the dialogue's pretty true to the manga for what I remember of this section of the manga. Of course, the eclipse happens, and it's a little more explicit about like Casca and what happens to her. They don't show the scene with her about to get raped by like the penis monster. There's a lot of stuff they trimmed it down fairly well, I guess, because they wanted to. I mean, this section, since it's the end of the Golden Age arc, it probably would have been easy to fit it all in, but I guess they just wanted to cut it just to make the exact time sure. I think it was just a standard 80-minute movie. But so they show all that in the unrated version. There's quite a bit of muff, I guess we'll say, and boobies. And of course they show the scene with Guts and Casca having. It zooms out into like a rock in the waterfall, but as it zooms out in the corner, you can see Guts thrusting. And I gotta give it to the English voice actors; they did it. It was probably really awkward, but and then of course the whole thing with Casca. One thing they changed is that is that Casca, she's looking at him and it's like, oh, don't look at me. I don't remember her saying that in the manga. And I feel like I think it would have been better that she didn't say anything. Because then, because she said, don't look at me, that kind of symbolizes that, she doesn't want this either. And of course she doesn't really want it, obviously, even though she kind of has a slight boner for Griffith. But my point being is that, she and Guts have kind of already hooked up. And if she doesn't say anything, it implies she's enjoying it because she's having so much fun. She's like, and, all that, which would make Guts even angrier. The violence in this one is definitely pretty big, especially with it being the eclipse. They changed out what happened to Gaston. They don't have him talk or anything like that. He's just already killed. And of course, in the outtakes, Guts makes reference to the fact that Sean Chamel also does Goku, so he's like, Goku, It's kind of funny. I'll get to the outtakes in a bit. That'll be sort of like an afterthought thing. But, and of course, the Skull Knight comes in and shows off his badassery. They do the same thing in the mangas where they kind of hint about, the Skull Knight being the king from that different era who wore, like, the skull armor. Though, I just want to point out that that's a pretty big hint on who he is, but at the same time, they still haven't revealed who he is, and they probably won't near the end. So I just want to say, anyone watching this, don't keep your mind open. I'm not trying to tell you not to think that he's the Skull King. You can if you want to. I kind of do too, but I'm just gonna keep my an open mind, and because they could try to surprise you. That's what writers do. They lead you in one direction, then shift you to a different one to try and shock you. And that's called writing. But and he comes in, so he saves the universe. Sorry, I had some pizza. Off topic, but Skull Knight comes in and saves Guts and Casca. And so they get saved, and then we start to go into like post Golden Age, like near the end, the stuff that the original TV anime cut out, which was kind of cool hearing the original English voice cast come back, because at this point it's just gonna, obviously Rickert is the same, Guts is the same, Casca is the same. I don't remember if the chick's the same. They probably tried to get a hold of her, but and of course Kevin T. Collins does a good job. So they show this, and with the Skull Knight, and it kind of just ends with and they show Guts being all like, "Hey, Casca," and of course Casca's gone crazy now. I remember on a website, on a wiki that I saw that said she had dementia. I don't think that's true, or I don't know if that's true or not, but she's definitely cuckoo. That's sort of like the main point. And of course, that's when Guts runs off, and those monsters kind of come out, or those demons and ghosts, and the Skull Knight's like, "Be strong," and like so he fights them, and he takes the Skull Knight's thorn sword, so he's like kind of bleeding. He's like, ugh, ugh. But and that's kind of where the movie ends, and they do the credits, and then of course after the credits they show a little teaser of Guts, putting on his armor and going off to friggin' be the Black Swordsman and cut bitches up. So that's cool. And it says this is only the beginning, kind of hinting that they're going to do more. They already stated that they're going to do more in like a news bit that I've talked about on the podcast, and I'll try to remember to link it. I don't think they've done anything. My speculation was that they were probably waiting for the English version to get finished. Either that or just making these movies really does take that long of a time, even though they use CGI. It's like, it's fine if it takes a while, but I mean, if you're going to use CGI, the poly count, the time it takes shouldn't take as long. The balance between CGI and anime I thought was fine. Like, I wasn't really paying too much attention. Plus, I tend to notice the the regular animation anyway. I believe the Skull Knight's just entirely CG. So he's like the one who's probably not going to stay out of CG. But, you know. That's really all I can say about the movie itself. I liked it, and I felt like it was, you know, like the others, close to the manga. They took out some scenes, which I guess is fine to kind of help with the pacing of it, as well as just to keep the runtime down. I feel like including the one where they fight one of the like that donkey gorilla dude thing, and because I want to see a guy get his penis cut off, but it's a monster, so it's like it's not even technically that graphic, because it means like seeing a human's penis get cut off versus seeing a monster's penis get cut off is there's a bit of a difference, and I'd say seeing the monster's penis get cut off is a little bit easier. I think that would have worked for like the foreshadowing of what Griffith is going to become. Though I guess, you know, from the movie's perspective, you know, if you're coming into the Berserk series through the movies, you're probably not going to really know what's like that. This is that the Golden Age arc is a giant flashback. It's different. You know, it's in the movies. It's not treated as a flashback. It's treated as, you know, just the actual part of the main story, and everything else is more of like an epilogue kind of thing. So they'll probably do the Black Swordsman arc, and it'll be cool to see them. I mean, I could probably see them making an entire movie out of maybe like the first I think it's first 2 or 3 volumes. That would be interesting. I mean, and they show Puck as well. You get to see a better look of him, as well as yeah, just really Puck. Like, they don't really show too many Black Swordsmen or post First Eclipse or post Golden Age arc characters. And I'm actually still on the Black Swordsman arc. I'm near the end of it, though. I am at the part where I'm on volume 21. For those who, because I don't do mangas by chapter. I do them by volume because I buy my manga as opposed to read it online, except for Citrus. But even then, I'm just kind of looking at the pictures and beating my wee while I see the kissing parts. No, I'm kidding. Maybe, I don't know. Overall, as a series, I actually enjoy it. I'm glad we have more potential to get the rest of the series in, or at least the Black Swordsman arc and video form. I don't know if they'll do another movie or I think an anime would be cool. I think it'd be a cool way to. If they do an anime, though, what I would probably do is maybe try to make it tie into the first anime. Or maybe make it tie into the movies, which may be better. But at the same time, you know, it'll write off the first anime as being a failed attempt, which I don't really like that idea, because design-wise, I think the anime actually looked better than the movies were more true to Kentaro Miura's design. Because, you know, Griffith, you know, he looks like in the anime he didn't. He in the manga as well as, you know, these movies, he looks more like a woman. Heck, in the prototype chapter, he was a woman, which is kind of funny. I haven't watched much of the Japanese version, though. That's probably going to be because I imagine Crunchyroll will try to pick it up if they do make a Berserk anime, and it'll probably be that cast. So I'll have to probably get used. I say that even as if I'm used to the Japanese cast, which I haven't really heard that much of. Like, honestly, I feel like Takahiro Sakurai, while an odd choice, I feel like gives Griffith um, gives them like a better sound. I feel like Guts pretty much just sounds the same, just different voice, but you know, I thought it was a decent movie series, honestly. And if you've never seen Berserk, this is probably the best one to go with, because not only is it, new animation, the voice actors from the TV show are back. So if you've only experienced the outtakes, which I need to talk about still on YouTube or whatever, because people have uploaded the outtakes. I haven't uploaded the movie outtakes. It's funny because I have the outtakes for the first and third movie. I'm not going to upload them, so don't ask me to upload them, because you should just get the movies and watch them. Plus, they're movies, and I feel like more people probably enjoy movies more than TV shows. So, I don't know, but if you want to get into the series and you don't want to read the manga, the movies might be the best way to do it, because while they are more violent than the anime, they are also not as violent as the manga. The manga it's more graphical. Like, honestly, that's again my really only complaint with Berserk, is that it's a little too violent and a little too grotesque looking. I feel like if they would tone it down a little bit, say for like maybe a few scenes or so, if they really need to have it, or it could have just really shocked it could serve as shock factor for the eclipse if they have it be relatively tame and then suddenly just get super violent. That's sort of how the anime goes. But anyway, the outtakes, they were funny. Like I said, Guts does a joke about Goku. There's more swearing and it's not bleeped out. So, I think there was one in the anime, the TV series outtakes, where they had to bleep someone out, probably Casca. She says fuck a few times. And there's a part where she's talking about your anal gas, a fart, if you will. Your butt hair makes it more difficult for you to get one out. But, it's kind of funny because there's a part, she's probably the funniest, or potentially because there are times where she'll actually, it's like the outtake is that they just included like her just like goofing off and talking to someone else. Because there'd be a part where like she's talking to someone else and like she's away from the microphone, so you can just barely hear it, but it's funny. But so probably get it on Blu-ray, or at least get the second and third movie on Blu-ray. You should probably, if you're gonna just get it all on Blu-ray. I have the first two and the movies 1 and 2 on DVD, and then I have the third movie on Blu-ray because they had the outtakes for the first and third movie. The second movie also has outtakes, but I didn't get it because I'm dumb. But yeah, Berserk. I'm gonna try to catch up with the manga now. I'm missing volume 22. I have volumes 1 through 21. Then it goes 23 to 24. So I'm actually a little behind, and of course there are 37 volumes. So I'll try and pick up the rest as soon as I can. But not gonna promise nothing. Because other manga, other media priorities going on. Because Dark Souls and Exilium and Hearts R and all this other stuff, Xenoverse, so much stuff. They should make a Berserk game. That'd be pretty cool. There's a Godzilla game coming out. I guess I should probably talk about that. But I'm getting a little off topic. This concludes my review series of the Berserk movies. I hope you liked it. Maybe by the end of if the manga ever ends, I'll probably do like a giant wrap-up like I did with Dragon Ball and Negima. I'll probably do that with all the manga I read, because, reading a manga, I don't know. I might do. I'll probably start doing that more, doing giant wrap-up things. So, yeah. Overall, I like the movie series. You should get it, watch it, maybe get the manga afterwards. You know, if you're the kind of collector where you just like to collect, you know, parts of, like, if there's an anime adaptation, but they haven't, like, for Berserk, you wanted to get the 3 movies and then you wanted to get, like, volumes 14 and onward because you're that kind of collector, then yeah, you could do that. That would save you some. Though I'd also probably get volumes 1 and 1, 2, and 3. I can't remember where. Though I know there's one of the volumes kind of cuts over to a to like a slight beginning of the Golden Age arc, and then it kind of goes on towards a giant recap of Guts' life. Really, he was born from a corpse, so. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this. This is Flames Around, aka YouTube Tasuke, signing out. See you later.